what's up guys, Dave here with Birdie Vibes Disc Golf. In this video we're going to be talking about how to throw the forehand shot in disc golf, plus the shots necessary for it, all that coming up. So I think before anything we have to understand the shots necessary for a forehand in disc golf. Number one, they're pretty accurate shots, and I think they're shots that have to go to the right. Now if you think about your right hand backhand shot, when you follow through, when that disc's finished, it's almost always going to finish a little bit to the left. Since you're going the opposite direction and the disc is going to be spinning in the opposite direction, that disc is going to finish in the opposite direction. So it's going to actually go right. Now for your lefties, this shot's going to go left, so keep that in mind as well. So behind me, you see this tunnel shot here, and the hole is straight back through that tunnel, but the gap to the hole, if I actually may want to birdie this and go pretty aggressive at it, there's a bigger gap off to the right that I usually go for. So for that, I want to make my gap as big as possible, so I do a hooking right shot to give me that bigger gap available for a better accurate shot and a better accurate aim at the actual basket. So I think shot selection goes into forehand shots a lot. Now getting into the actual throw, we need to talk about grips. I have a very different grip. I'll talk about the usual ones first. So a usual one is kind of like a stacked grip like this, where you have two fingers pressed up against the rim of the disc. Some people do a curved one like that, but you always have these two fingers making sure that that disc doesn't wobble around in the hand, pressed up against the edge of this, and then you have your thumb resting on top with the disc pressed into this part of your hand pretty securely, and that prevents any wobbling coming out of the hand. I have a little bit different of a grip just because I have a pitching baseball background. I have a grip that is like this. It is a flat hand grip that I call it, and I have my pointer finger pressed up against the edge. For my opinion, it gives me more control over this shot. And then I have my middle finger pressed up against the outer rim, this little ledge on the disc, and then these two fingers just fall in to keep it steady. And then of course I have my thumb still on that outside edge of the top of the disc to secure it in fashion. I still keep it pressed up against the inside of my hand in that webbing too to secure the disc. So now that grip's out of the way, let's talk about form. I mentioned that I have a pitching background in baseball. I pitched through high school, so I use my pitching background, and I couldn't understand forehands for the most part until I was actually skipping rocks with my daughter. And when I started skipping them, I started remembering the whip necessary in hard pitching in baseball if you want to get a lot of spin on your curveballs or sliders or anything like that. So if I think about baseball form, I'm really coming through and I'm loading back here so that my whip happens from my elbow and my arm lags through, and then I get that whip coming around with my hand. Now, I've heard a lot of people say that like you don't need to finish like that with a forehand. For me, it's not really a big deal because I have that different grip, and I'm really focusing on that whip and kind of spinning that ledge of the disc off of my pointer finger that's giving me all of the rotation on that disc. So when I come through, it's like I'm cracking a whip or skipping a rock or throwing a hard spinning slider or curveball in baseball. So when I think about the load in pitching, it's right here. When I think about a load in form and forehand in disc golf, it's all happening right here. This point right here is where my hand is going to lag behind my elbow, and then when I bring that through, I'm just following through like that. So I'm really bringing in a lot of my baseball background into my forehand throws, which for me translates pretty easily here. Now, footwork for me is pretty simple. I don't have to run up or do anything for this. It's kind of just like if I were to step and throw a baseball, that's pretty much all I'm doing with my disc when I'm throwing a forehand. I'm just pointing my toe and stepping towards my target and really making sure that when I release, that pointer finger is right at my target, right at the release point. So again, I'll show you with a baseball whip, I'll show you with a frisbee, whip. Now, if you're getting any value out of this, please hit the subscribe button and ring the notification bell if you want more videos on how to improve your disc golf game. I'd really appreciate it. Now, to bring everything full circle, let's look at the actual throw of this. I'm gonna do one throw in full speed and show you the flight path of this disc kind of going down this tunnel. And then I'm gonna do another couple of throws using slow-mo on the camera, and I'm gonna set up the drone down there to allow you to see from the front as well.
So there really doesn't have to be any crazy run-up or anything like that. Just stay on the line and step and sling it towards your target. Let me put it towards me so you can see that whip in slow motion. When I step, I point my toe directly to it, and then I lag that arm in the flick of the wrist out towards my target so I can shoot it exactly where I go, almost like I'm walking up a line and slinging it.
So I hope that really helped you out. If you're struggling with your forehands or you just want to get better at them, bring some of these concepts in, and remember to find a grip that just works for you. You don't always have to use what everybody else is using. I hope this helps. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell, and comment below with your favorite disc that you're using right now.